Hey Power Wheels modders, this is Jonesy with Custom Kids Cars, and if you're watching this video, I bet you have questions about what battery to put in your ride-on. Well, today, if you can see over my shoulder, we've got all kinds of batteries set up and some chargers over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through our experience, because we've spent many hours and many dollars figuring this stuff out. So hopefully we're going to answer some questions and help you guys figure out what battery and what battery charger to use. So stay tuned. Okay, so here's our battery station. We were motivated to do this video because we just got a shipment of batteries in. As you can see, it's Mighty Max batteries was the order. We ordered a dozen of those this time. Typically, we love our Gruber Power Services, but the last time we checked, they were out of their blue tops and they just had regular black batteries, and kind of had a feeling that they weren't their manufacturers, their brand battery. And why that matters to me, because you get what you pay for. I'm going to get right into it. So you can see there's all different kinds of labels here, different kinds of brands, and right here in the middle is a scale. So we turn this on, and as you know, SLA stands for sealed lead acid batteries. It's non-spillable. It doesn't vent hydrogen or anything like that. They're very safe. That's why they're used in kids' ride-ons. So we're going to start with our baseline, since we just got 12 of these Mighty Maxes in. And why I say this is they're made out of lead plates in their cells, and the heavier the cell that they use, the more capacity it can hold. So let's get a baseline here. So here's a Mighty Max. It's in pounds. Darn it. 7 pounds. I had it set for grams here, is why I'm flustered a little bit. So let me see if I can switch that real quick. Oh, what do we got here? Now we're back in business. Wow, how frustrating is that? I actually tried to pre-have this set. Okay, back into grams, because it's just way easier to see. So 3508, we're gonna say, baseline. Well, let's grab another one. 3360. Let's grab another one. So that one's pretty consistent, 3388. And one last one that we just have out of its case here, so 3337. So those are pretty close. Now, like I said, I love Gruber Power Services. They do battery backups, and let's just put those on the scale. So 3360, we'll say, was the last one. So 3816, so it's a couple hundred grams heavier. What's this one at? So 3773. So you can see they're very consistent. Here's some other popular ones. I'm sure that you guys have seen online. Worker. I replace a lot of these. People buy them, I think, at Batteries Plus or something like that. But check it out. So Gruber was 3800. Well, look, that's the lightest one of the bunch. So they're using cheaper parts in there. See where I'm going with this? This is a Castle. I don't know what this came out of. Came out of some ride-on. So 3248, very comparable with the Worker. Now we'll get into other manufacturers. Peg Perigo, my opinion, probably make the best ride-ons on the market. So let's weigh theirs. 3811. So that surpasses the Gruber, but you're paying $70 for this battery. You know, with shipping, you're probably in the 30s with a Gruber. Megatrends, I like this brand too. This one actually bit the bullet, and I've already cut off the brass tabs and it's ready to go to the recycling. This one's going to shock you guys. So remember, this is Megatrends. Look at that bad boy, 4156. This thing has lasted a lot of years. I think this is made in 06. Very impressed with that. So the brand on this is Yuasa. All right, so now that I've explained to you that you get what you pay for, don't go online and just get the cheapest. Let's talk about how to charge these things and maintain them. All right, so as you can see, we got these right out of the box. First thing we do, we open them up and charge them independently, because these are actually going in ride-ons that have 24 volts, 36 volts. So you don't want to just take it out of the box and put it in your ride-on. You want to charge it up to peak capacity. Well, how do you do that? I should have grabbed one, but you know the stock wall chargers for these units, Pegrigo, Power Wheels, pitch them. Don't even use those, guys, because they don't stop charging when it's at capacity. There might be a few of them that do. You know, it turns yellow when it's full, or it turns green from yellow, I mean. But in my experience, you're going to want to use something like this, an automotive charger, a smart charger of some type. I probably should have got more chargers out to explain what ones not to use, but we're huge into the RCs. As you can see, all these LiPo batteries and stuff. So we already have all these smart chargers. They're RC battery chargers. If you guys have kids and you're going to get into RCs, just spend the money and get one. You don't have to get a 4 slot charger. You can get one that does just 1 or 2 batteries at a time, but these right here do all different chemistries. We do lead acid, which is PB, on the charger. It does LiPo, it does lithium iron phosphates, which we use some of those, these racing packs, headways, and nickel metal hydride and nickel cadmium. It does all of them. So if you guys are going to get an RC, spend the money. The only bad thing about these big 4-place ones is you have to have a dedicated power supply. Over here you can see this smart charger. This is a big boy. This actually is a 36 volt power supply. It needs it to do this big 8-cell packs. We have bunches of 8-cell packs. But back to the lead acids here. So good investment getting into these smart chargers. But if you can't, we use the battery tender. This is technically what we charge up our brand new batteries on. We hook up 4 batteries and it charges that capacity. And it's worth mentioning that batteries will actually improve, guys. Once you use them and charge them about 5-6 times, they actually gain capacity. When you charge it and you check the voltage, a lot of times it's going to be 12.8, 12.9. Well, the full capacity of a perfect condition, sorry, the charger just finished, so it threw me off. A full lead acid battery is 13.2 volts. So when I charged up all these Mighty Maxes, they're at like 12.9, something like that. I'll throw the charger on once I talk about this other thing over here. If you got cars and motorcycles, power sports like motorcycles and stuff, these are great. It's about 50 bucks, something like that, but you got to be careful how high of an amp you charge these at. You can't just throw a bunch of voltage at this at a high rate. The general rule is whatever your battery is, like this is a 12 amp hour, you can charge it at 20% of its capacity. So the easy math is 10% of it is 1.2, double it, 2.4. So that's the safe route to go. This one charges at 3 amps, and so does this one over here. These are both Schumachers. This right here is my all-time favorite battery charger I've ever ever used. I will go out and buy one of these in a second if this one dies. What I love about it, it does standard, it does amalgam glass matte, which that's what these bigger ones are. Read your battery, guys. It even says right on here, sealed AGM, amalgam glass matte. That's what that stands for. What I love is it tells me what percentage of discharge it's at. Obviously it's green, it just charged. This one right here, you gotta be careful so you don't charge it at 15 or 12 amps. That's for a large battery like this right here. And I plugged this one in. I think this one's a smoke battery. Yeah, see, it's at 1%. So that battery is actually ready for the recycler too, but I thought I'd throw it on there. This one is not a cheap charger, and backing up a little bit, these will do both 6 volt and 12 volt, these Schumachers. This battery tender will only do 12 volts, so that's a big negative to it. And I'm gonna break all these down and do independent review videos of each one of these. The reason I spent the money, this is an Optima charger. It does only 12 volt, but it was, I don't know, I paid like $100 for it. But the reason I got this is because it claims to charge a battery that's as low as 10 volts. I'm sorry, 3 volts. I said 10 because that's what this one's at right here. Yeah, this is a stock Power Wheels battery. It's below 12 volts. So these smart chargers right here will not charge it. It just won't let it because it's basically saying that it's a bad battery. So this right here, you can plug up to a battery that's got a really low voltage of 3 volts, which, to be honest guys, it's a crapshoot. You're more than likely going to have to replace the battery. And talking about replacement batteries, these are 70 bucks, 65, whatever it is online, you can get these. It's a 9 amp hour battery. It's for Power Wheels brand. I think that's just a bit too much to pay, and I'm gonna do a separate video of that. I'm kind of motivated to do some videos here. So what you're gonna need to do is you're gonna pry off the top, and you're gonna take off this connector so that you can use that in your vehicle so you don't tear things up. Another bad thing about these stock charger or stock batteries is it's got a built-in circuit breaker, and if you guys are on hilly ground, you have big kids and these trip, over time they get weaker and weaker and they nuisance trip where you're going to have issues with it. Just take it to the recycler and get an aftermarket like these universal 12 amp hours. It's a little bit different shapes. You have to stand it up on its end, which is totally safe. You can do it any orientation except for upside down, they recommend. So I've talked about kind of the higher end ones. This is really all you guys need. This is like 25 bucks. Most auto parts stores, you know, Home Depot, all those big box stores too, they carry these. They're like 25 bucks. Actually, go to Walmart and just get a Schumacher 2 amp hour charger. They keep changing the models and I keep selling them to customers, so I don't have any of those right now. But for 25 bucks, it's going to make your battery last 3, 4, 5 years. We have some of them that are going on strong because we know that we don't have the kids totally discharge them, where you see them out there with the gas pedal down and it's literally going as slow as a snail. That's really bad on batteries. You want to use it for whatever it is, 45 minutes, an hour, and then put it on the charger. That way it's fresh. Takes 3-4 hours sometimes, depending on what amp rate you're charging them at. And that's kind of the gist of what we do and what we recommend with batteries. So there is no one charger that fits all. If I had to buy just one and I was on a tight budget, it would be this Schumacher. The model number is XCS15CA. Just love the charger. But if you guys are going to get into RCs and do fun stuff, you're going to probably want to invest in a RC type charger. We got a bunch of other ones, but those are the main ones we use. So that being said, if you guys have comments, questions, you know, I just had a question today. I'm going to get more involved and a little bit more into a subscriber oriented question answering. You know, to be honest, a lot of the questions I get are stupid, or they're just dumb remarks about my dog getting hit by the Power Wheels, or he's in a Mustang, he's going to take out a crowd. And those are so annoying. Ask pertinent questions. The one that I got asked today is, where do we get our replacement batteries? Typically it's Gruber Power is the brand we use. Jacob Rubel of 12 Volt Customs, he is a distributor for them, and I'd give him a shout. If you guys are into these Power Wheels modifying, you probably have been on the Facebook page. It's Modified Power Wheels, and there's a bunch of people, I think 40,000 people that talk about doing these. So anyways, I'm sitting here babbling. I think that's covering everything that I wanted to today, guys. But in gist of, if you get anything from this, you get what you pay for. Don't buy the cheap junk batteries. The Mighty Maxes are okay. It's a middle of the road. I've had good reliability with those, but these Workers and other cheap brands, you're probably gonna have a short lifespan with it. But anyways, happy modding, and give me a question or comment, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thanks.